Well, good evening. I'm here off of Congress Street. And over there is Carl's Jr. Things are a little bright here. At any rate, I have part more in the continuing saga of a dog bite. A dog jumped over a fence and bit me, 6 weeks ago or so. And I got charged with some kind of weird, funky thing. And the prosecutor for Tucson doesn't seem to want to drop it, although I was the victim, and we have things called stand your ground laws. So I was supposed to take the pictures over 20 days before September the 6th, which I made it over today, and the only thing I could afford to take over was my phone, which I took the pictures of my hand bleeding, which the local TPD policeman had seen. Simply told me not to put my hands in the fence. So I ask you, my admiring public, would you put your hands over a fence with a vicious dog trying to gnaw at you? Well, since then, because I did take another picture yesterday of this location, they have extended the height of their fence so the dog can no longer jump over and bite anybody else, which is pretty cool. It's their dog, keep it contained. But at any rate, when I went up there today, the city prosecutor was not there, so I had to bring 8x10 glossy, so they agreed that I could just bring him to the September the 6th court date. I'm going to post these pictures tomorrow on YouTube so that they're there for prosperity. Dog by foot, the fact that I'm disabled permanently means I can't run from a raging dog. Boy, what corruption. But at any rate, I did tell him since I was going to do that, I had to bring a slide projector and Bluetooth it in, and a film crew from Channel 4 or whoever else is available and wants to come in. And then, actually, since in the absence of the city prosecutor, the secretary for the city prosecutor said that would be just most mighty fine with a verbal agreement. Verbal admission, as it's called sometimes. So there you go. I get dog bit and have to go to court and bring in a news crew. Unheard of in the annals of law across the United States. So stay tuned. Tomorrow I will be posting the pictures up. So just in case something happens to my camera phone, you never can tell these days. At any rate, not all cops here are bad. For the better part, they're pretty good. The recent statistic suggested that 30% of the TPD cops were tarnished badged. 10% was a marginal figure that was put out by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and that was a low figure, but figure on 10%. We have 935 policemen. That would have been 93 and a half policemen, but now 30% we're kind of up there, like 275 or so policemen, which is wow, might as well say about a third of the force. Now, I've never counted all the policemen that's here, so I really don't know that there's 935. Might be a lot less, and that figure just being bloated. But I'll find out. And of course, some of them are showing up and quitting or missing, and only the good policemen will be left, which I've run into quite a few. I've had some very good experiences. Just every now and then, there's got to be one in every crowd, Don't put your hand over a fence into the mouth of a raging dog. I didn't. The dog jumped over the fence, and to protect my face, I stuck my hand up when he sunk his tooth in it. Anyway, one of my favorite mentalist shows, which I got to watch, was The Case of the Missing Box. So here we go. The Case of the Dog Bite. Although I'm not Simon Baker, I think Simon Baker is the mentalist. He's not just playing the role. He is the mentalist. I'm just a rank amateur compared to him, so my hat's off and praise to a wonderful show. It mirrors, in my ads, reality in law enforcement. There is hardly a law enforcement officer that I've met here in Arizona. When I say, hey, you like the mentalist? Says, oh yeah, we can sit around and talk about the mentalist all day long, but everybody's got work to do because of all you naughty people who just wish to break the law. The laws were written to try to protect you from yourself. Haven't you figured it out yet? Because most of these things you do only hurt you or somebody else. They're inhumane. They're not there to make it a challenge against an unknown force or entity. Just the way it is, the way it has been, why it was developed. You know, I wish I could quit. I really do. But every time I started to quit anything to do with law enforcement, I found that the alternatives to it were extremely bad. So wake up, America! Follow me as we go through the real life drama as it unfolds. The case of the dog bite. Good night.